Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 102.4, and today we're looking at Myth and Goal. Ooh, this is a mini fantasy football game for 1 or 2 players, and it is so incredible. It literally is pulling the middle finger up at Games Workshop. Lipstickpaddy is so excited about this game. So let him tell you all about why this Kickstarter is absolutely incredible value. So Lipstickpaddy, please take it away. Now peeps, Myth and Goal. If this isn't 2 fingers sticking up at Games Workshop, because you get so much here for the price. Yep, this is might as well be Blood Bowl on Kickstarter. Yep, more streamlined than Blood Goal. And using card combat and things like this. For me, this is way better than getting Blood Bowl and paying for all those miniatures. And if you want a Kickstarter company to go toe-to-toe with Games Workshop, Blacklist Games, who first and foremost, before anything, were producing minis for role-playing games. Yeah, they know what they're talking about, and if you look at these minis, they look spectacular. They really do. And for once, I am quite happy that they've left the base clear on the bottom, so you can put your own terrain there of the pitch that you want to have. So that is pretty cool. I'm a fan of the bases, actually, which is the first for me, actually. Because you can put your own grass down there, put mud down there, and even lines of the pitch and stuff. You can be more creative here just by putting some of the, I guess it's going to be green sand on the bottom of these minis, but wow, they look so cool. Now, it's completely blast through its goal. Props to the team with 1,000 backers only launched today on the Wednesday of the week. Anyway, let's go down because mega exciting. The devs on it are got some stellar games in the titles, and for Blacklist Games themselves, it's the team who basically did Alter Quest also. I love the dwarf here because he's almost in the colours of the United Kingdom, which is funny. And what I like here is that you can, instead of having orcs versus humans, you can actually have a mixed race team, which sounds fantastic. I also like the ball that says Kilson on it, which is a bit of a fun name because it's Wilson, the American football maker, if you weren't aware of that. So that is kind of a nice pun on reality. And I do like that it has the dwarf, small, the heroes, human, and then the big orcs, so they are playing into the fantasy rules that were probably set by Dungeons & Dragons. And of course in Dungeons & Dragons an orc is a class, and in Dungeons & Dragons they can all be in a team together. And what we're seeing here is pretty much a D&D inspired version of Blood Bowl. Now the pitch itself is really tight, isn't it? You're going to be in the people's faces so often, and here we can actually just about pick out the ball on the pitch in somebody's hands. Now it is 1 to 2 player. It'll be interesting to see how the solo mode works. And does Blood Bowl have a solo mode? I don't think it does, because Games Workshop are still almost a company that's stuck in 1990 for me. They don't seem to be modernizing any of their games to this modern Kickstarter era. And I really think Games Workshop need to up their game, come into the modern world and stick something on Kickstarter where they actually get, not limited quantities so people can actually get their games, but it is what it is. Anyhow, streamlined rules. It says custom dice. There is some dice rolling, but there's a lot of special abilities on the cards, so it is kind of dice and cards. We'll give it that. Modular team creation, which is good, and there are lots of team members that you can pick from. As it says, players can use the free agent rules to build their own custom all-star teams using different combinations of players from all available teams. So this is good. It also says players can watch their teams grow and develop using the league's rule. So potentially there is like a league you can play with your friend, and as you're playing a game series, could be like a hockey series with best out of 11 or something like this, and your actual players will, it says, upgrade through that time. So that's kind of fascinating that there is a little bit of role playing going on with the development of players in the team. That sounds really, really good. Talks about the AI team using solo game rules, and this is going to be bang in the core game, so no worries there. Minis looking fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Popular with other fantasy football miniature games, it says. Yeah. It says, while a team in Mythical is 8 players, I guess each race is coming with 16 minis. So potentially you could have a full team of orcs in another type of football miniature game. Now it has got this Black Games exclusivity on it, which basically means it's Kickstarter special, and any remaining stock will either go on the website, another crowdfunding campaign, or potentially a Gen Con if they've got any left. But they're saying no, it is gonna sell out where it needs to be. In fact, you can see here the top pledge 109, which is the base with all the stretch goals. Really good price actually for the amount of minis we're getting here. Yeah. Now, so what are you getting in this fantastic deal? Love the box art. Looks absolutely phenomenal. I love the big towers in the corners. Love that. And what I love about the stretch goals too is they're adding terrain. Games Workshop, are you listening? They are taking you for a ride. You will be long forgotten, Games Workshop, if you don't up your game. 64 minis with 4 teams. We've got the Pernhold Anvils looking spectacular. The Belhurst Imperials. I'm guessing the Pernhold Anvils are the dwarfs. We've got the humans here, and it looks like the humans. The Etherean Sapphires, this must be the elves. And the West Arc Ruffians, the orcs, looking great with their top knots. These are going to be super fun to paint as well. Now, free agents, this is for the league mode, and there's lots that you can get here. All these, the reason they've all got names, by the way, is that they all have their own special abilities too. So that is going to be interesting because, of course, they need their own special abilities if it's a role-playing game, because you're going to be upgrading these through the season. As you can see here, each character has their own cards with their own special abilities on them. So yeah, lots going on here. Like I said, there's a little bit of the card is the combat with the dice. I keep calling it a card combat because there is like a lot of cards, isn't there, in the game. Focus cards that you're potentially going to be using, tactic cards you're going to be using in the match, focus cards, faction cards, advancement cards. This is really, really good. I like that it goes to these advancement cards. They have one side which is the veteran catcher, and then you flip that to become a star catcher. So this is a nice system how they're going. Custom dice as well. They've got some add-ons where you can get dice in the colours of the teams, which is very, very cool too. And they're giving you lots of base rings as well, so if you don't paint your minis, you can just put the base rings on, and that's much easier to track. Much appreciated. The attention to detail there is great. The AI boards, there's 8 double-sided of these. Very, very interesting. And it looks like they're The strategies here, the wall, the Forsaken Offense, these are going to be really cool, and maybe the updates through the campaign are going to talk about these. The board itself, I do like the art. It's interesting that you can run around the back of the goal, a bit like ice hockey. What is going on there? Anyway, this is the box for the stretch goals. It looks fairly meaty, probably because it's going to be all miniature based. Now, they do have this rookie pledge, which just gets standees. And that is a really, really cool offer. Especially if the standees get an upgrade to acrylic standees, because that would be my favourite way of doing it. But I do appreciate this lower price point that they have. And you can see only 19 backers have gone for that, whereas 800 plus have gone for the mini version. It's partly because the history of sport fighting games like this have all been miniature based, so the standee version goes against the grain, but hey, if you're on a budget, you're on a budget. Now, neoprene game mat, fantastic. Going to be much bigger than the board. It looks like 24 by 18 is, you know, the big ones. Team dice pack. Oh man. So 4 of these is going to be $32, but that is a very, very cool add-on if you ask me. It's super cool. Now, this mirror match card pack, scratching my head at this one. See if your favourite team can outsmart and outplay itself. So you're actually going to be playing your team versus the other team. If you've got an ultimate balance, I guess this is going to be it. And it also lets you to do free agents. It's such a bizarre concept that you would play yourself. But yeah, it's an interesting add-on. I wonder how popular that one is. If you're back in this game, by the way, and you're just checking out my video, and if you are interested in this, tell me why you would want to play a mirror match. I don't know. If you did a league, though, and you won the league, maybe you could play a final then against a mirrored team, and the person who'd lost the league would face you up against your mirror. That'd be maybe interesting. Get extra boxes on your pledge if you wish. Social goals are already out, which is interesting. You can see the progress that they're tracking here as well. And the social goals are listed here. So new tactics, wonder what else is coming out. Stretch goals themselves though, gatehouse miniatures, really, really good. A new ogre is coming. Dwarf Crusher, actually mounted hero. This is fantastic, isn't it? And a new troll. Now, the troll should be bigger than the ogre, and that's going to be like a monster that you can get on the free agent. And you know, these free agents, you're going to be using a pool of points to hire them to your team. So if you get a troll, you're going to have to get a weaker agent to balance that out. Yeah, I like the fact you can do a cup. I like the fact you can play solo. Start a league sounds fantastic. The custom league with the free players sounds, oh man, it sounds so good, doesn't it? Choose your teams. Oh my god, this sounds fantastic. Yeah. Agile dwarf team over powerhouses. You've got to kind of get the different combinations, and with all the different free agents, it sounds wonderful. Choose the tactics that you'll be playing, and these are cards that potentially you're going to be using through the game. Start your players all have their own specific name, and they can be upgraded. You're going to be managing the team that has your limited number of actions that they can use to activate their players. Careful planning is essential to edge over your opponent, of course. I really like how the ball clips to the player. Look at that. Really cool. Because on Blood Bowl, it has like, you can intercept a ball and the ball can go free. You're rolling a die to see where the ball is rolling to. It's like super complex, Blood Bowl, whereas this has really streamlined it so you can really get into the mix and duke it out on the pitch. Sounds so cool. It does say you're going to be resolving actions quickly as well. Less of this fiddly stuff with Blood Bowl. Of course, it's a sport game, so points do matter, and it shows you here that you've got to go round the goal to actually score the point. This is really interesting, isn't it? That's probably where you're going to have the troll, isn't it? Like, you get behind here, the troll's there, like, crap! I've got to take the troll out. Boosh. Anyhow, it's on Tabletop Simulator. You can check it out. It's super, super cool. The demo for the solo is coming out as well. That's very cool to highlight this here, and you can check out the rulebook too. But we are so curious about this. We have to shuffle around our budgets, and yeah, we might have to $1 pledge this beast because it just looks so good, and this is something we've not got in the library here. Now, there's more lore going on down here, of course, and the teams themselves check this out. So, experience with Necromunda and Warhammer Quest. Adam and Bradley Sadler, don't really need to introduce them, but needless to say, they did Alter Quest, the fantastic dungeon crawler on Kickstarter, and have done Manchester Madness, X-Wing, and Descent 2nd Edition. So, awesome sauce. The graphic designer Chris here done a fantastic job, really, really cool, and all of this stuff. So really small team, and I love that. Now they are partnering with Quartermaster Logistics, and you probably guess how much shipping is them if you're a qualified shipper of, I know how much Quartermaster Logistics it's going to be to Mexico. It'll either be $65 or $100, depending on the weight of the boxes. So. Yeah, down here, look, 60 to 120. It's roughly 60 to 105 with Quartermaster delivery to Mexico, but, you know, potentially it may go down. All right, let's head up to the FAQ because we've got some important things to cover. Now then. This is a really good question, and I really wish this was a thing. Will funds pledged after the Kickstarter end up unlocking more stretch goals? No. I really hate that. I wish there was post-campaign stretch goals to encourage people to get add-ons. That would be really, really cool. That stretch goals continued. I haven't seen an example of that ever, but it is interesting that they highlight this question here. Can I pledge $1 and get the game later? Yeah, but you've got to spend $5. So forget your $1 pledge, it's $5. This should be on the main page. What are the bloody scale of the minis? 32. It says all miniatures come with 32, but should they not have different heights? Your troll guy can't be that small. He's got to be a big troll, isn't he? Minis are high quality PVC plastic. They did mention this on the main page. Minis pre-assembled. Of course they're pre-assembled. This is not Games Workshop here, and you'll have to paint them yourself. When will add-ons ship? This is what? They come with the main game, don't they? Like, is that really a frequently asked question? It's interesting, the question, isn't it? Right, let's go up to the top, and we'll go to my final thoughts. All right, myth and goal. This is looking absolutely fantastic for fantasy football. It really is. I love the fact You can create your own fantasy league and have different mixes of the races in your team, and that they can level up in their abilities through the league, like role-playing a fantasy football actual event. So a campaign where they all start to upgrade. Sounds spectacular. There's one thing I'd like to see is another set of coloured bases, because if they're doing 4 sets of dice, can they not do 4 sets of bases also? Anyway, you're going to be getting an absolute boat ton of minis here. The pledge is phenomenal price for the $109, is it? Yep. And if you want the standee version, you've got a really fantastic entry level $50 to go here. It's ultra small though, the amount of people that have gone for it. Interesting, 190 have gone for the Pledge Manager access. I'll be joining them 100% because I need to balance the books at the minute, especially with teams that are opening their Pledge Manager and closing it very quickly. Indeed. Did I mention when it's coming? November next year, so they've still got time to work on it, of course. And this is the first day, and they've got 486 comments, which is tremendous. Obviously, this is a niche with a lot of people coming in here, jumping on it, and comments is very, very positive about what's going on here. It's a super, super massive game on Kickstarter in this massive month of September where nuclear bombs keep hitting us. And I'll tell you now, this is definitely something you're going to want on your shelf, because it's just going to give you that unique experience of a fantasy football game, which is combat-based sport, which the really Blood Bowl has really had that nailed for many years, but it is just so expensive to get all the teams. It's so complex in the type of gameplay that you want, and here we've got streamlined, heavily miniatured, with your own custom league. Create your own league from the different races and role-playing through the league so your characters can level up. It's a phenomenal project on Kickstarter. Do we recommend it? Of course we do. Just absolutely great. We can't wait to follow this game. And it's another bloody game we're going to have to minimum pledge. But, you know, that's our strategy to balance the books. And when we get some really slow months like December and January, that's when your budget isn't going on Kickstarter, you can up your pledges on your minimum pledges, right? So it is the strategy to go with, because there's just so much greatness going out, and it's epic. It's an epic golden age on Kickstarter, isn't it, at the minute? And I always say it's a golden age because if you give you $1,000, can you spend that $1,000 in 15 minutes on Kickstarter? And yes, absolutely, give me 15 minutes and I could full pledge on a handful of games that I really, really, really want, but I can't get them all. And I've really got to focus and hopefully balance it out between the Kickstarter team here and the friends that round the table. But I think I'll have to get this for my own personal collection and all that sexiness. So please let me know in the comments what you think of Myth and Goal. Is it alluring to you as it is for me? And what boils your blood with excitement on this game, sorry. Oh, so good, Pete, so good! I'm so exciting. And it's just waiting for over a year to get my hands on this game to play. Oh, it sounds delicious, people. Well, thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you liked it, of course. And think about subscribing to the channel where we find all the great Kickstarters on Kickstarter to highlight them just for you. So yeah, think about subscribing. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. I've been your host, Lipstickpaddy. This has been Kickstarter Radio 102.4. You take care, stay safe, and bye-bye for now.